Welcome to County Report this week. I'm Lorna Virgili. Thank you for joining us. We begin this week's show with Alert Montgomery. County Executive Ike Leggett and representatives from various jurisdictions recently gathered at the Emergency Operations Center in Gaithersburg to announce major improvements to the county's alert system. After a decade in use, the system has been improved, and Alert Montgomery users must update their accounts to have access to all of the new features.
And we know that we will have weather emergencies. We will have storms. We will have, unfortunately, to alert our residents to impending danger. In addition to that, we also have large numbers of alerts related to traffic and other information that we think is important to share with the community. And so the Alert Montgomery, the alert system in Montgomery County is one that is vitally, vitally important.
This new and improved Alert Montgomery promises to be more reliable and allows the user more choices and flexibility when receiving alerts.
We're always planning, we're monitoring, we're keeping an eye on what's going on out in the world, and we want to bring that information to you, and we share it with each other. And we're hoping that with this new advancements in the Alert Montgomery system, the reliability, the speed, that we'll be able to better provide that information to you and help you make good decisions and hopefully avoid problems.
Montgomery County is one of 18 jurisdictions with alert systems in the national capital area. Within Montgomery County, the cities of Gaithersburg, Rockville, and Tacoma Park have separate but compatible alert systems.
We are excited to be part of an ongoing effort. Safety is a shared responsibility, and it's not just up to the county and the cities, but it's also up to our citizens, and we look forward to partnering with all of you on this important event.
Among the new features, users may select how to receive the alert, whether it's via email, text message, telephone call, or the new mobile app. Also, residents may choose what kind of alerts to receive: traffic, weather, schools, closings, or others. Residents who live in the cities of Rockville, Gaithersburg, or Tacoma Park should sign up for those cities' alerting systems as well. To sign up or update your account for Alert Montgomery, visit alert.montgomerycountymd.gov. It's in the news everywhere you turn. People are talking about the Ebola virus, and there are lots of questions about who is at risk. This week, council members were briefed on how the county is preparing. Susan Kennedy joins us with more. Susan?
County officials say they've put the necessary tools in place to deal with a potential Ebola case here, but they say the upcoming flu season is more of a threat.
We do know what we need to do to prevent its spread. So I can say that there will not be an outbreak in the United States. We have the infrastructure and we know how it is spread.
County Health Officer Dr. Alder Tillman briefed council members on what preparations are being made for a potential patient infected with the disease. Though officials are confident the risk of an outbreak here is small, they are not being overly confident that it can't happen here.
We are preparing ourselves very much to be watchful. The mainstay of public health, which really helps us here, is that number one, Ebola is a reportable disease. If a healthcare provider is suspicious of someone with Ebola, they must call by telephone and notify both local public health as well as the state health department.
There are currently no reported cases of Ebola here in Montgomery County. However, there were 2 suspected cases that tested negative for the virus. Dr. Tillman stressed that Ebola is not contagious unless the patient is symptomatic, and she assured council members that the county is working proactively across the region to prepare.
I think we are prepared, making sure that we're running drills, making sure that our health responders are trained in terms of proper protocols when it comes to the treatment and addressing of patients, as well as when it comes to donning protective gear. All of those kinds of things are things that we need to continue to practice, understanding that we don't want to put any of our first responders' lives at risk, and we want to protect the general public as well.
Montgomery County has launched an Ebola preparedness website that you can visit, where you will find other links for extensive information on Ebola. In Rockville, I'm Susan Kennedy for County Report This Week.
When the County Council approved the fiscal year 2015 budget, it included funding for 10 new school resource officers. The increase means that all 25 county high schools now have SROs on staff. The goal of the program is to reduce inappropriate behavior at schools, and council members say the plan is working.
I think it's great. I think it's a great result of us, again, talking about the issues and working those out, and now we have a program that's functioning well and operating smoothly. Does that mean that all of the relationships are absolutely perfect? No, but I think at the same time, we're working towards that, and if that's our ultimate goal, and we all believe that that's our ultimate goal, then I think that we'll be well prepared for any kinds of school emergencies and being able to also ensure we're providing resources to our kids, which is the ultimate goal of the School Resource Officer Program.
On October 7th, the day before International Walk to School Day, 2 Kingsview Middle School students were struck by a car as they walked to school in Germantown. It happened at the intersection of Kingsview Road and Clopper Road. My MC Media's Sonia Burke has more. Sonia?
I'm in Germantown, where 2 Kingsview Middle School students were recently struck by a car. Their injuries were not serious, but police say the incident certainly was.
And we was at the crosswalk, we pressed the button, and then we was able to walk, and then when we got to the middle of the intersection of the crosswalk, a lady turned and she hit us.
I saw a blur of a red car, and then it just hit both of us and we fell down.
What did you get? Scraped, bruised?
I got bruised on my leg.
Since then, I've been really worried about crossing the street.
Even before the accident, Brianna's mom said she expressed concerns about the intersection to school officials.
I've been complaining with Kingsview for 3 years regarding there's no crossing guards, there's no security there.
Since the accident, she's written to County Council President Craig Rice looking for more action.
I explained to him that I told him who I was in the beginning. I also explained I had a student that goes to Kingsview. Then I went into detail that my child was one of the children that were in the October 7th incident. I explained to them how the children were not at fault, that they had the proper clothing on, they had bright color clothing, they weren't talking on the phone, they weren't texting, the phones were properly put up in their pockets and turned off. They weren't listening to any music. They pushed the button, waited for the crosswalk to go, and it's just unfortunate that the lady, as she was turning, didn't see him and hit him.
At his weekly briefing, Council President Rice said he received her letter, and he agrees improvements are needed.
There is no question that this intersection is not safe for our kids that are walking. Just this morning, as I dropped my daughter off at school, the principal there, Jimmy DeAndrea, is actually stationed at that intersection, ensuring that the children are able to walk across, but the reality is that's not our fix.
For County Report This Week, I'm Sonia Burke.
With the upcoming end of the daylight savings time on November 2nd, and with more hours of darkness, police are cautioning drivers and pedestrians about keeping an eye on the roads. Here's Captain Tom Didone to remind us why the change of time always brings more pedestrian collisions. Captain?
Pedestrian safety continues to be a primary concern and always around this time of the year because of the darkness. Drivers and pedestrians both have to be more vigilant to look out for each other and, more importantly, wear that reflective gear that will help each other see each other. What I mean is drivers need to expect the unexpected. They need to look harder and pay more attention on the roadways, looking for the chance for the pedestrian crossing late in the evening and early in the morning because of the darkness. And more importantly, the pedestrian needs to not assume that the driver will see them. They need to try to make that eye contact. Both drivers and pedestrians should always be vigilant to look and make that eye contact before they cross the road, and wear as much reflective gear as possible so that you can enhance being seen. This time of the year is a holiday and a festive time, but we want to make sure that it's not a tragic time by having these pedestrian collisions.
Thank you, Captain Didone, for that reminder. Montgomery County Police have been investigating a series of 14 auto property thefts that have happened at area gas stations over the past 2 months and are urging drivers to lock their cars even when they are pumping gas. Investigators believe those involved look for a distracted victim. For example, a person who is outside of their vehicle paying for their gas purchase, or who is talking on his or her cell phone. While the victim is outside of the vehicle, Police say the suspect quickly exits the suspect vehicle and enters the victim's vehicle. Often before the victim realizes what has occurred, both the suspect and the suspect vehicle have fled the area. Police urge residents to lock their cars when leaving them unattended, regardless of duration, and to leave valuables out of sight. Anyone with information about these thefts is asked to call the Centralized Auto Theft Section at 240-773-6370.
Coming up in County Report this week, we'll meet Bethesda Green's new executive director.
And local leaders announced the need for a workforce development authority. Stay tuned. County Report this week is coming right back.
Save time on Election Day. Vote between October 23rd and 30th at one of 9 early voting centers in Montgomery County. Voting hours are 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Find the early voting center most convenient to you by visiting our website, 777vote.org. During the early voting period, wait time information is also available on our website. You choose the location, you choose the date. Remember, your time, your voice, your vote.
Hey, mister, down here. You illegally passed the stop school bus. I'm placing you in timeout, and this timeout means big fines, plus you really could have hurt somebody. That's why school buses are being equipped with video cameras to help kids like me stay safe, so respect the bus.
Are you sure they can recycle us, Clamshell?
Hey, Dome, we're on a new recycling postcard.
I can't wait to make a new start. Maybe I'll be a red carpet at a big premiere.
And I'll get to paint the White House.
Shh, here he comes.
Now you can recycle more plastics in Montgomery County, including #1 PET plastics such as clamshells, deli containers, trays, lids, domes, and cups.
We're in!
For more information on recycling, contact the Montgomery County, Maryland Division of Solid Waste Services at 311. The wait is over. Recycle more plastics today.
Welcome back to County Report this week. I'm Lorna Virgili. Hundreds of people turn out for the 5th annual Bethesda Green Gala to honor local companies making a difference in the green industry. My MC Media's Krista Brick joins us with more.
Green is in fashion at the Bethesda Blues and Jazz Supper Club, where Bethesda Green is celebrating its sustainable community and introducing its new executive director.
Veronique Marier is Bethesda Green's second executive director in the organization's history. She's been on board just a few months, but already has big plans. Celebrating at the Bethesda Green Gala, a fundraiser that also helps to raise awareness for the organization, and wearing her green, she talked about them.
Really, at this stage, Bethesda Green is ready to grow even more. I think we have all of our vision forward, so we're ready for more action.
Some of that action includes helping to influence the Bethesda Downtown Plan and expanding the Bethesda Green Incubator.
In the last month, we just accepted 2, and they're pretty cool. Uptop Acres, and they're looking at rooftop farming. And the other one is Climate Decision, and they're looking at specific computer models in terms of flooding caused by climate change.
County Councilman George Leventhal, a co-founder of the organization, said he is looking forward to expanding the reach of Bethesda Green through its new director.
We're very excited about her taking the organization in a new direction. She's very detail-oriented, very serious and thoughtful, and also a lot of fun to work with.
Seth Goldman is another founder of the organization who said the effort started in Bethesda but has been replicated in other areas of the state.
You know, if I had tried to start this 10 years ago, it would have fallen on deaf ears. I just don't think people were there. But when we talk about it now, people get it. And so it's not a question of whether we should do it, it's how we do it and how quickly we can do it, and do we have the resources to grow.
Hundreds turned out for the gala, but the stars of the evening were the Bethesda Magazine Green Champions Award winners, an award honoring those who show a commitment to promoting a more sustainable way of life.
Profiles of the winners, of this year's winners, will appear in the November-December issue of Bethesda Magazine.
For County Report this week, I'm Krista Brick.
With the goal of creating a single workforce development authority, members of Montgomery Moving Forward recently announced a call to action that details what steps to take during the next 2 years to close the gap between good jobs and the number of skilled people.
That we're older, we're browner, and we're poorer as a county. And the reality about that is that there are many jobs that are left unfilled and too many residents who do not have access to sustainable opportunities for employment to advance them and their families. The times demand a different approach to how we have been operating. Might I say a word that's been used several times, a bold approach to these realities. And this is a workforce development system that is indeed a system that acts as one, that is synchronized, accountable, and empowered to do the work that it needs to get done.
Montgomery Moving Forward is a group comprised of area education and community leaders. Their recommendations follow 18 months of review. Community Service Week is going on from October 18th through the 26th, and there are literally hundreds of activities for county residents to volunteer their time and contribute to any of the 700 nonprofit organizations registered with the county's Volunteer Center.
There's dozen scores of volunteer opportunities on the web at montgomeryserves.org, and we want people to just roll up their sleeves and get to work and help their neighbors in need, help make Montgomery County a more beautiful community.
For volunteering opportunities, visit montgomeryserves.org.
Coming up next on County Report this week, new county residents join the Human Rights Hall of Fame.
And MCPS meets with NAACP leaders to reinforce their education partnership. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
There's a reason why area law enforcement are out enforcing pedestrian and traffic safety laws and preventing killer pedestrian crashes. Be alert. Be street smart.
Yeah, salad on Saturday, fruit on Friday, throw a ball Thursday. Water Wednesday, touch your toes Tuesday. Let's move Monday, spark a snack Sunday.
60 minutes of physical activity a day and eating well can help get your child healthy. So keep them active and eating well every day. Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov. That's letsmove.gov.
Welcome back to County Report this week. I'm Lorna Virgili. Residents who had one common goal to fight discrimination were recognized in an afternoon that celebrated civil and human rights at the Black Rock Center for the Arts in Germantown. My MC Media's Alini Barros has a story. Alini?
The Montgomery County Office of Human Rights honors 7 residents who made a difference in the community. A doctor, 2 reverends, an educator, and 4 human rights activists walked across the stage, followed by applauses and cheers from family and friends. They have been inducted into the Montgomery County Human Rights Hall of Fame.
I feel very good about the mission of this whole program, to honor those who have worked in human and civil rights.
This ceremony honors county residents for their life work in human and civil rights. These 7 residents showcase how people in Montgomery County go beyond to ensure equality for all.
Well, it's really exciting to see that we've got such a wealth of diversity in terms of what people are focused on with one common goal, and that's to make sure that we can focus on diversity, making sure that there are equal rights, people's rights are protected, and that they're able to achieve whatever opportunity and goals that they want to.
Since its creation in 2001, more than 80 county residents have joined the Human Rights Hall of Fame.
That I have the pride and joy of standing on the shoulders of those that have gone before me. And being a resident of Montgomery County that's as progressive as it is, that's done as much as it has in the area of human rights, is really just wonderful.
And this recognition highlights the community's efforts in ensuring that people work together to overcome their struggles.
But it also means a lot for what it says about the county's acceptance and welcome to the transgender community. I feel this is not simply about me, it's about the entire community, and maybe even more so the entire county.
For the complete list of honorees, visit the county's website. For County Report this week, I'm Malini Barros.
Partnerships are an important aspect of the equation when it comes to education. Montgomery County Public Schools and the NAACP recently kicked off another year of collaboration. Here's a story from MCPS TV.
Parents, MCPS staff, and members of the community gathered at Richard Montgomery High School for the annual NAACP Parents Council kickoff meeting. The event is designed to bring together a strong group of committed parents to work in partnership with MCPS.
I have been one of the people that believe that you have to be part of your child's academic success and you have to be proactive. And just knowing that NAACP has organized this to enable the parents to know what is available, what is out there, how to walk the walk, and how to really help your kids.
Superintendent Dr. Joshua Starr talked about the importance of partnerships with families and the community.
And I appreciate, parents, what you are doing, families, to support our children, to support us, to partner with us, to tell us the hard truths, to make sure that we are working together so that our kids have what they need.
The event featured keynote speaker Dr. Ivory Tolson, the Deputy Director of the White House Initiatives for Historically Black Colleges and Universities.
I think that if we understand the numbers as best we possibly can, talk to the students as much as we possibly can, and understand those factors that I just described, the extracurricular activities, the grades, all of those things that we can do something about, then you're going to see every achievement indicator go up, I believe even the test scores.
Attendees then proceeded to breakout sessions where various topics of interest were discussed.
I expect to learn about the resources that are available, different after-school programs, any potential partnerships we can have with other schools.
MCPS has been a partner since 1995 with the Parents Council. We do outreach and try to educate and motivate parents to be better advocates for their children's education.
The Education Opportunity Center, also known as the EOC, provides free assistance to Montgomery County residents that have a desire to attend college or a vocational program. MCTV's Danielle Stesky has the details.
Alexis Burt has two daughters, a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. In 2010, she was attending her last year of high school when she became pregnant for the first time.
It got a little difficult, and then being with the child, I couldn't just come right back to school, so it was a little complicated.
Last year, Alexis got her GED and decided that she wanted to earn a degree in accounting. So she sought for guidance at the EOC, Montgomery College Education Opportunity Center, a program funded through the Department of Education that offers free services to Montgomery County residents.
They've helped me register for school, do my financial aid, understand what the financial aid was.
At the EOC, you can receive assistance in English or in Spanish in the following areas: admissions and counseling, financial aid, scholarships, GED, academic advising, career assessment, resume writing, interviewing skills, and financial literacy.
We help individuals get into college, and basically anyone that wants to get into college can get into college, and we're here to help.
And this means you can enroll in any school in the country, including Montgomery College. Every year, The Education Opportunity Center helps 1,000 individuals. To receive any assistance from the EOC, you need to schedule an appointment by the phone or through the website that's on the screen. The Education Opportunity Center has 3 offices. The main one is at Montgomery College Tacoma Park Silver Spring campus. There is also one at the Rockville campus inside the Financial Aid office, and one in Wheaton at the Westfield South Montgomery Works building. As for Alexa's Burt, she might transfer to a 4-year university. But right now, she just wants to focus on earning her associate's degree. For County Report this week, in Tacoma Park, I am Danielle Steski.
When we come back, we will hit the links at the Rockville Open. And we'll visit Markov's Haunted Forest for a scare or two. Stay with us. County Report this week is coming right back.
For those dealing with the struggles of caring for a loved one, we hear you. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for advice and support.
High school and college students should plan to attend the Scholarship Conference on November 15th at the universities at Shady Grove. Learn about scholarships, financial aid alternatives, and college admissions. Representatives from Montgomery College and many other colleges will attend. With a 3-0 shutout over Hartford last week, the MC Raptors men's soccer team clinched their 3rd straight Maryland JUCO championship. The Raptors are 10-0 in league play and currently ranked 3rd in the NJCAA national poll. They're the first MC team in any sport to win 3 straight Maryland JUCO titles. On October 23rd, MC's Germantown Campus Early Learning Center will participate in the Grateful Girl Walkathon to benefit nonprofits working with at-risk women and families. The center is selling raffle tickets to support the fund and invites everyone to join them on the walk.
Welcome back to County Report this week. I'm Lorna Virgili. Once again, the Rockville Open Golf Tournament at the Redgate Golf Course provided an exciting 2 days for many golfers who came out to compete in this annual event. Rockville 11's Morgan Lash has a story.
The Rockville Open was a hole-in-one for Montgomery County golfers this year.
Yeah, today is day 2 of the Rockville Open. It's our signature event, and it's very popular. Great way for players of all skills and abilities to come out and enjoy Redgate and win some great prizes, make some new friends, and just have fun playing golf.
Redgate Golf Course has hosted this event for 40 years.
What makes Redgate such a great golf course? I would say the history, location is phenomenal. I mean, it's probably one of the closest public courses to DC. It's got a lot of diverse terrain, a lot of hills, which is something rare for this area, and kind of the flavor of the course.
John Dustin won the tournament last year and was back this year to defend his title.
It's always good to play with these guys in this event because it's a great event, and the fairways, greens were in great shape this weekend. I knew it was a lot of work for them because of the weather this week, but worked out and they did a really great job. I was really impressed.
He once again won the title of the Rockville Open champion. For more information about Redgate Golf Course and their upcoming events, visit redgategolf.com. For County Report this week, I'm Morgan Lash.
And now let's meet our pet of the week. Here's Kathy Stanhope from the Humane Society. Kathy?
Hi, this week I'm here with Angel. She is a scant 2 years old, and she is just a gorgeous kitty. She came from a very full shelter in West Virginia. We were just able to pull her out and bring her up here and help her find a home. She will be spayed upon adoption, and she's loving, gets along with everybody, dogs and cats, and she wants to go home with you. Give us a call, please, at 240-252-2555, or visit us on the web at mchumane.org.
With that, we close this edition of County Report this week. Remember to like us on Facebook and to join us again at this time every week for a look at what's going on inside Montgomery County. As promised, we close today's show with some spooky scenes and maybe some screams from Markov's Haunted Forest in Dickerson. I'm Lorna Virgili, and thank you for watching.